Hello and welcome everyone to our another episode of Java programming with data structures and algorithms. So in our last episode we saw our platform independency of Java. In this particular episode we are going to discuss the architecture of Java. We are going to understand how the flow of program exactly happens. So if we go and check the broad view of our Java architecture, it is going to look like by this way. See this one. This is the broad view of our Java architecture. In the main frame, you can see the main umbrella is JDK. The main umbrella we have is JDK itself. So if we have to categorize, if we see the broad view of Java architecture, we are going to realize that it contains of so many things, and the main umbrella will start from umbrella will start from JDK. So the very first one here we have is by default JDK, Java Development Kit. And see this JDK. So under this JDK, let's try to understand what this JDK is all about. So JDK stands for Java Development Kit, and every programming language always needs a runtime environment. This you must keep in your mind. Always needs a runtime environment. Why we need any runtime environment? For the execution of the code. So for the execution of the program always it is needed. In this case, what JDK does, so JDK provides the environment to develop and run the Java programs. Every programming language always needs a runtime environment for the execution of the program. JDK provides the environment to develop and run the Java programs. JDK is a package. In a broad view, we can say JDK is a package which includes development tools, Java runtime environment, JRE, a compiler as well. These things are very important for you in your interview. So always keep this in your mind. You are going to see it consists of archiver, doc generation as a, so it consists of Java doc, interpreter and loader. Development tools. What these development tools do? They provide an environment to develop Java based applications. Whatever the code we are going to write here, whatever the things we are going to write, so they are going to provide the environment. JRE, if we focus on JRE here, so JRE stands for Java Runtime Environment to execute the programs. The necessary libraries needed for the execution is always taken care by the runtime environment. Here we are talking about Java programming, so the necessary things will be taken care by the Java runtime environment. We have a compiler here also. So another interview question, Java C this compiler is known as Java C. Java C compiler. So Java C compiler convert the .java file into .class file, which we call that is our bytecode. We get our bytecode out of it. So Java C compiler is going to simply convert our .java file into a .class file, which we can simply use. Finally, the archiver. So archiver is there to archive our files. For the document generation, we have Java doc. So Java doc is available. And interpreter and loader is also available. We will discuss that part, interpreter and loader, in the upcoming time. This is my main broad view of Java architecture. First main umbrella is JDK. Here you can see it consists of JRE plus development tools. So second one we have is JRE. Let's find it out. JRE. So what I can say here is JRE stands for Java Runtime Environment. JRE stands for Java Runtime Environment. It is an installation package that provides the environment to only run the programs. So JRE stands for Java Runtime Environment. It is an installation package that provides the environment to only run the program. That is, this will be all the execution is going to be taken care by this particular thing. Also, this JRE consists of so many things here. Consist of, you're going to see it may be a deployment technologies. So deployment technologies, user interface toolkit, so many things are needed. All these things will be there in the backend. We don't need to know and in a deep manner, but again, just for knowledge, integration libraries. So if any integration is need to be done, base library is going to be there. Java virtual machine is needed. So once we have the thing ready here, so once we have, so what I'm going to do, once we get the dot class file, the next thing will happen at the runtime. The next thing will happen at the runtime. And what we are going to do, the class loaded loads all the classes. So here we will have a class loader which is going to load all the classes needed to execute the code. It's all about the object oriented programming. We will discuss that part in detail in a specific manner. Just now we are just trying to understand how does the architecture of this thing is happening. Also, what JVM is going to do, JVM will sends the code to bytecode verifier. There is a bytecode verifier to check the format of the code. If everything is fine, if everything is fine here, so next thing will come into picture, which by default itself is our Java virtual machine, which is going to look after from here. So third thing inside the Java architecture is going to be JVM, Java virtual machine. This machine is going to look after each and every stuff after that. So we can say here JVM stands for Java virtual machine. And what it does after the verification is done by the bytecode verifier. So JVM with the help of interpreter will execute the code line by line. Yes, it is going to execute the code line by line. And what you are going to see, JVM consists of JIT, that is a just in time compiler. And what it will do, it will ensure that reinterpretation is not required for those codes which are getting generated or repeated again and again. So it will ensure that reinterpretation is not required for those codes which are getting generated or repeated again and again. So the same you are going to see sometime you are going to get these things that multiple times. Suppose a code is there which is going to be executed 5 times. So again generating their machine code will be a waste of time. So this just-in-time compiler, which is a part of JVM, what it is going to do, it will ensure that the reinterpretation is not required for these codes. Once get a machine code has been generated, it is going to use. So it will be taken care by this part. This is a broad view of Java architecture. And this is how the flow of code is going to happen inside this flow of code. So you also must keep this in your mind for better understanding of this part. You will have your Java source code which you are going to write. So Java source code will be there in the high level language. JDK, it will be passed to JDK. JDK will convert it into bytecode. This bytecode will be transferred to Java virtual machine, which is going to interpret it, and it is going to give the interpreted code to Java runtime environment, where the output after the execution output will be given to the user. So writing of code will be there. Source code will be transferred to JDK, which will have Java C compiler, which will convert the or which will compile and convert the code into bytecode, that is .c file. So it will convert it into bytecode. This bytecode will be transferred. So this to the JVM, and JVM will interpret it, not JCM, sorry, JVM, and JVM will convert it into the machine code with the help of the interpreter, right? And which will execute in the interpreted code will execute in JRE, and we will get the output. That is the entire process of the flow of Java program, whether it is an application or whatever the software you are building. So go through this part, keep this in mind. Thank you very much for subscribing, and we will continue from the next part.